All right, let's look at the email examples we have here. A9, A10, Stewart, Valentine, Stewart, Crusader, Morris, Crusader, Dingo. This is a Matilda A13 Caunter. How many A13s do we have? We have 3 of them. We have 3 A13 Counters. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. I don't know that they're that much different from each other. Here's another A13. Oh, that was that one. So what I'm looking at is here, let's see. I've got this book that I picked up. I know it's backwards. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's this Caunter Scheme of we're going to paint one of these, an A13 tank, in the Caunter Scheme using the diagrams that were given to me by, well, they were purchased from them, but an expert on this. And I want to see which one I have. I have one A13 that's already painted. I didn't paint it according to his drawings. I painted it according to some instructions that I found online. So they're probably close. So what I'd like to do, and I'll show you what this looks like. This is going to be a very similar scheme to this. Very similar to that. Honestly, these are all pretty close. They're not that much different from one another. This is the one we're going to go with. We're going to go with this drawing right here. All right. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use the AFV paints by 3rd generation AK. That's what we're going to go with. These are water-based paints, and that's what I use to paint these colors other than the base color that's already on there. So, all right. So what we're going to need to get out of here is the slate gray and the silver gray. That's what we're going to need. All right. And we're going to paint those patterns on there lightly, and then we're going to end up weathering this, giving it a wash, so forth. And we've already done our pre-shading on here with the airbrush. Adzani Arik, welcome. So we've done kind of our pre-shades, and now we're going to do the next darker shade, which is this silver gray. This is Portland stone that was on here. This is the color that people like to mistake for light blue. Have you seen any British tanks in the desert that use light blue? They're not supposed to be light blue. They're supposed to be this color right here. So we're going to get our little palette over here, put some of this down, put some water, and go to town. But I have to clear up some space because I have encroached upon my own freedom here. Working on stuff yesterday. Always have to do that. Let's get rid of these colors that are just a nuisance. All right. So we're going to get some of, let's get some water here. And we're going to use a fairly thin paintbrush because we're going to draw in the lines of this. And this is a 3D print. See, it's almost like a gray-green color. All right. And the first line, we're going to start with the top view. This first line here is going to go not in the center, but a little bit left of this, a little bit off to one side of the center, about here. And that line is going to go all the way to this spot here. So we're going to draw a little line that goes like so. Okay, and that same line, when we go up this way, it also goes, we're going to remove the turret for the moment being. It's going to go to the front as this box here. And everything in this zone over here is going to be this same color. What's up, Marcus? Good evening. Don't have much time before Tiana gets home. Couldn't pass the opportunity to see some counter painting. Yeah, we've done it before. We're doing it with official drawings from Captain Counter himself. So this line goes here, and it's going to pick up basically in this corner. And all of this will be this silver gray, which honestly looks closer to Western Approach's green than anything else. Greetings from Norway. Oh, here's a place I'd like to visit. Except the problem with Norway is hey, I want to go there. Oh, that's on the other side of the fjord. All right, well, it's going to take 3 days to travel all the way to the end and then come back around, and you can see it. Just take a rowboat across there. Thank you. Does that happen frequently? I want to go right there. Shit, it's 3 days there and 3 days back. I'm exaggerating. It's not 3 days. Your first counter experiment is going to be with the Dorchester from Chad. I think Avernay is the company. Well, let me pick your brain. Does Ron make a Panhard 178? He does, doesn't he? Worth the travels if you love amazing nature. Yeah, the weather's probably good. For me, anyways. I'm not a cold weather sissy. If it's cold outside, that's when I want to be outside. I don't want to be outside when it's warm. You contract somebody else for that. Okay, then we go from this point here, where we met everybody. We're going to go all the way like so. this is this counter color. He does. I think also a German version as well. Some of the French vehicles really well done. I think Samu will be on my next purchase list. Well, I need to work on my Crusader stuff. That doesn't mean I'm not going to work on some Czech 38s, but I did notice that Black Dog makes some Czech 38 parts. So considering I'm going to do like 6 of them, that may actually not be a bad idea. Because they have like a spare road wheel and everything on there, so. This is not a very dark color at all. And I thought about, mixing it with something dark, but it's going to get a wash over it. We're going to end up going over it, so. And I was reading the book, and in the book it says in there, it looks like some vehicles actually only had 2 colors, but that's because this particular shade didn't turn out really well on photographs. All right, now the side view is when we get over here, this entire side of the fender is in this color as well. And so is this hull. And it's not very noticeable. All right, on the other side, because on the turret here, the only thing that's visible is from this corner we're going to barely scrape by and do something like this. And if we go up a little higher, it doesn't really matter because the next color is going to be the slate. It'd be easy for the slate to cover over that. I don't know why they show me the other side, because the other side's basically, it's not the same. This little box here in the front, that is also in this color. So let's remove this for now. Well, remind me to read you one of the excerpts from the combat in France with the Panzer units, because it was pretty interesting. It gave me a lot more details than I thought I was going to get. And, you know, I mean, I can't get enough details when it comes to combat stuff. So we're going to go from the front here, and it's not going to touch until about here. So it's something like that. And then everything up in this zone is also painted silver gray. So remind me to read you an excerpt of some of the combats that happened at really short ranges. And then this whole area is also that color. For sure, this week I'm going to have a lot of modeling time. Uh-oh, why? What's happening different? No breakfast! You're going to get them Jimmy Dean pre-made sausage things. They can make their own damn breakfast. No? What's up? Oh, hold on a second here. Yoga plays. And then the same thing, this whole superstructure on this side. This is all this, I was going to say green. They call it slate gray. A slate must be something that's a green. Do you remember me? Were you on this morning? I'm surprised I remember everything after today. We had a challenging day at work, and we still have one more. Tomorrow's going to be no fun, I can tell you that already. Not a fan of the Fridays. Then all of this same thing up here. So this paint actually paints really well. You have to thin it to airbrush, but it actually paints really well. The other stuff, the Ammo MIG, this is the AK. The Ammo MIG, this is gonna be like this. I don't have to thin it to spray it, but you can't hand paint it. It's basically garbage to hand paint. And this is going to be almost straight across. And it's going to go to the midpoint of the turret, basically. And it's going to go all the way up, just beside this antenna. It's going to be something like that. And then there on there. Okay, and I'm just going to draw that out. Now, I was reading about this and they said these were hand painted. So they're going to be about as precise as I'm going to make them. All right, and when we get to this side, we go from there. All the way to that point. And then we're going to go back. Checking out Ron's models under German. There's a Panzer 204 F Panhard 178. Yeah, the German one is actually in a skirmish campaigns game that two of them are in one of those. But, I don't want to do captured vehicles. I do a French vehicle. Well, I'll have the French have it. French can have vehicles too. All right. It's going to enter that. And honestly, all of this, even though we're going to paint over it with slate in some places, this is all going to be of a color. So we have this triangle that goes here. And when you're looking at this, it goes up kind of at that angle. And all of that is painted as well. It's a radio vehicle. Maybe they recapture it so they can taunt the Germans for a second time. That's right. We've already got one. It's a very nice. That's the Why do you think they have this outrageous accent, you silly English king? Yes. Of course. I listened to that before I ever saw it. What do you mean by that? I said, well, there was a guy that I work with who had actually, you're talking like 1990, right? 1990, he'd play the movie and he recorded it like on a cassette tape. So I heard the movie before I ever saw it. True story. Okay. So we got this that comes at an angle. And we're crossing over just a smidgen of the driver's compartment. And we look at it up the front. This entire area over here is colored and something other than the base coat. Okay, so that looks accurate. And then the top of this starts just beside the gun mantlet and goes to the middle. So it goes to this point here from here. Okay, and all of this different comedy, different people like different comedy. Like I like that kind of stuff. I can't get into things that are just like awkward pauses. That's just like, Okay, this entire thing is going to be of some color. Awkwardness doesn't really constitute humor in my book. And this one goes from a little smidge here. A little smidge there. To here. I wish it was more a defined color. And the mantlet, the gun mantlet is also in this color. That's weird. Oh, yeah. Oh, because the rest of it's slate. That's why. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have slate over it. So this doesn't have slate over it. Gun mantlet there. Okay. And then on this side, I fucked up, didn't I? No, I didn't. I thought I made a mistake. Okay. Cool. I was thinking one side was the other one. It'd be easy to correct. They're not that different from each other. Now, I think that's all I'm going to do on this color. So now we go to the slate. This is almost like a pens are gray, but it's green. All right, and that one is this entire turret on this side is this color. Okay, so we have that. And then it looks like the side view of this is also in this slate color. All right, now if we look at the top view of this, if you look at that top view, it's going to run just to, well, what's the front view look like there? Okay, so it looks like it covers part of this, and it's going to come at an angle like so. And now this line that goes on the roof is going to go from that point straight back. That's going to go from that point straight down in the front. Now the other side, going to come back like so, and this whole area is slate. Okay, and indeed, from that point, it goes back to the fender. This whole fender is in the slate color, but only on the top. And as soon as you get past this point here, it's going to start veering towards there. And this whole fender here, other than the one I blocked off, is all going to be that dark color. Okay. And now this silly ass little line goes in this area as well. That entire side. Okay. Okay. Now the top view. Well, I went outside to try to take some pictures of my Africa Corps vehicles, and they look like shit. The vehicles don't look like shit. My picture taking ability looks like shit. Thought the photos you posted looked decent. I'm sure the real life versions are better. Yeah, they don't look. They're on my phone right now, so I can't post them. But they just have so much damn shadowing. Because it was like, it wasn't at sundown, but it was definitely towards. We're gonna have another low flying aircraft. That was ridiculous yesterday. That thing was right over the treetops. Okay, so this forms a point there. And this is not very big. And then the one on the other one also runs on the inside. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm going to try to get too carried away. I'm going to I gotta wait for that to dry. I gotta wait for that to dry. Okay, and then from the back. It's on the edge here, it's on there, okay. All right, gotta start the dinner. Catch you up in the morning if I'm on. Yep, I should be. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna make it here. I'm about tapped out. Okay, that's good basic for now, so. All right, we're gonna scrub this one, and we'll see you guys back here in the morning if you're morning people. See ya.